welcome to another video on VGS Astro. Today it's going to be Sun in the 5th house. When I was mulling over the 5th house, I wasn't sure how I was going to cover everything that this house represents because there is so much more to the 5th house, so much more than what I'm going to discuss here. But this will give you a broad idea of the 5th house, and I think I've done a good job in listing out the things that the 5th house represents. So let's begin. In Vedic astrology, the 5th house is the house of creation, and rightly so, because this house is connected with your children and progeny. And most importantly, this house is also called the house of your Purva Punyastan. What's that mean? It means that the rewards that you get in this life due to your past life karma, or specifically due to the good deeds that you've performed in your previous life. And that is directly connected with the kind of happiness that you get, the pleasures that you'll have, the love and affection that you would experience, the name, fame, success, and the respect that you get in society can be seen from this house. And so basically, this house is very important to know how prosperous you will be. And speaking of name, fame, and success, this house is also connected with your self-expression, your creative and artistic skills, and an important part of your intelligence, which is your reasoning skills, power to reflect and come up with something ingenious and original in idea, which would make heads turn around. Since this house is also connected with creation and fun and happiness, you could bring media and entertainment under the ambit of the 5th house. It is also termed as an important house for wealth, which is a Lakshmi Stham. Though speculative income and gains are seen from this house, strictly speaking, it's more about the prosperity that you could predict from this house, and which would indirectly tell you how wealthy you will be. So wealth, even though shouldn't really be directly seen from this house, you could connect other aspects of this house to know about the wealth you may earn. And who are we kidding? Children, love and affection, the artistic talents that one possesses are also a big wealth, right? And look at the variety of things that you get to possess through this house. It's amazing. And anyone having a benefic aspect or yoga formed in this house should definitely have done something very good and very big in his or her past life. And in medical astrology, the 5th house signifies the stomach region in the Kalapurusha's chart, and diseases of the stomach can be seen from this house. And additionally, this house is also the house of proficiency you will have in mantras, the knowledge of ancient texts, texts concerning philosophy, spirituality, and even astrology can be seen from this place. So, what is Sun all about? Being at the very center of the solar system, we know Sun brings about light and life to all beings on earth. Sun represents the soul of the individual, and this Sun is the higher self, whereas the lower self becomes the expressions of the higher self, which is nothing but the ego, which is due to the wrong identification of the soul. So Sun is termed as the bringer of life and prana. So in a way, Sun is likened to the creator, and also all expressions of creation, including inventions, progeny, can all be seen from the Sun. Sun is worshipped as Surya Dev in Hinduism, and he represents the father and father-like figure in one's chart. And Sun also stands for vitality and vigor in an individual. So Sun, among other things, represents authority, power, and such authority is usually vested in the government, in the king and his ministers, right? So Sun represents government officials, especially the officials holding top positions like the civil servants, those holding the post of diplomats, cabinet secretary, are all seen from the Sun. And Sun also represents physicians, because Sun has the power to heal people. Its rays are considered therapeutic or curative. So sun represents a lot many things, including one's fame or rise to power or the ability to inspire people to be in the righteous path. Sun is also knowledge of Vedanta, the Ashtasiddhis, and even astrology. So when sun is placed in the fifth house, remember this is the house of the sun in the natural zodiac order. And sun here lights up your creative mind, ignites your passion for self expression, and pushes you towards artistic pursuits. So you find yourself in theater, sports, in script writing with themes that are connected to a brave new world. And it blesses you with a mindset that will bring light that annihilates darkness in every area of your artistic pursuit so much that people will appreciate the knowledge that you possess and the awareness that you are building and bringing forth to this world by employing neat and bright colors and also showing the most invigorating dimensions of a theme, no matter how old that is, through those through whatever innovative methods that you would employ. And the feedback that you get is going to be a big boost to your ego. And if you're going to let it get to your head, you might just come out as being arrogant, and that may not augur well for you and your future life. So be careful with that. And since this house is also the house of your children, you could have delayed progeny, and sometimes sun here can be adverse for the firstborn, particularly for the male child. But otherwise, you could say that your children will have a bright future. They could become a bureaucrat, someone who joins political service, someone who is interested in strategic affairs or anything that's connected with the government or public affairs, and mostly someone who finds himself in a leadership position. And the children of this native could also be industrious and studious by nature. You could also see the traits of your father in your children. They could also take care of you the way your father did during your old age, just like the way your father did when you were young. Okay, and your father's position from this house may show that he may have been someone who was in business or stockbroking or anyone connected with finance, which involves money coming and going, and you yourself may end up following this line of work. And additionally, for the person with the sun in the fifth, this position will give you name, fame, and success through your dharmic and righteous actions, and you wouldn't be influenced by anyone very easily and indulge in any kind of wrong activities that might bring infamy. So people with fifth house sun can be thought of as having earned their name and success by following the righteous path and not through crooked means. Okay, but with this nature comes the difficulty of involving in any kind of gamble or speculative business, because sun does not really like such shortcut methods. So it's important you stay away from speculation of any kind, and instead of speculating, you might consider value investing, which will give you a big boost to the wealth by growing it in leaps and bounds. And sun will give you a phenomenal knowledge of philosophy, astrology, and even Ayurveda. And because remember, sun is also a physician. So this house is also seen as the house of teaching. So sun here would give you the joy and happiness in teaching these tenets or spreading awareness of the subjects that I just mentioned. And sun could also, by virtue of its position in the fifth, give you stomach related issues, and that could be translated to acidity or stomach cramps or any stomach related issue, including an irritable bowel syndrome. So that's something that you need to take care of. And from this house, sun through its seventh aspect casts its eye on the 11th house of earnings, profit, network circle, etc. So here the sun throws its good rays upon the 11th house, and you could see yourself as someone who is able to get the job done through your network circle, and your ability and confidence that it could be done is enough to make you a sought after person in the career that you're in. And this placement can also make you wealthy in terms of money and your workplace colleagues. But on the flip side, telling your opinion to someone and disagreeing with their views may make them feel hostile towards you. So it's important that you reveal only so much that people don't get offended, especially those above you in the hierarchy. So don't be a smartass trying to convince someone, especially your superior, about your views and to gain acceptance. And that's how much I have studied through real life charts about Sun in the fifth. And I'll see you again with another video. If you're new to my channel, then do subscribe for more such updates, and leave a comment on the kind of doubts or the topic that you would personally like to see.